Okay, everybody. Thanks for coming today on this Friday morning, afternoon. I'm hoping that what we do today is going to build on last week's Course Design Tips 1 session. And maybe we can learn a few things from each other, and maybe your questions won't be too challenging and too scary, but I'll take all of them and see what we can do with those. I did have 4 questions that came through on the registration forms, and they will be dealt with at the end of the core session. I had to make a fairly hard decision. I was going to do a style where we were going to, I was going to demonstrate all of these features live on the computer, but when I was doing a rehearsal, it was just way too much, and I'm sure that even I would get lost. So what I would like to do is I'd like to walk through a PowerPoint series of slides, and then the ones that we find may possibly challenging, maybe we can go back and do those, demonstrate those on a dummy course I have here. I did about 10 minutes ago send out the links to all of the resource files to your email accounts based on the people who have registered for this session. Okay, so we're ready to go. I just want to turn on my chat. Oops. And here we go. Can somebody raise their hands, please? I just want to double check. Okay, thanks, Cheryl. Okay, all right, I got it. Good, nice. All right, there we go. Okay, enough time. And I will be looking at the chat window throughout the session if I can, and possibly wait till the end to answer these questions. Okay, so course design tips 2. Last week some of you, or many of you, watched Cheyenne discuss different kinds of course design tips, and these are listed here. Some of them will actually integrate into what we do today as well. Today, we're going to try to get through 8 and the questions, 8 design tips. The first one is manage a zero topic. The second is making an introductory video or audio. The third is QR codes for quick linking from your course. Fourth is exploiting labels. Light. I was really planning on doing something big there, but it was just out of control. Then there's the surprising random glossary block, which doesn't seem to be functioning at the moment. And please, if you have it working, please tell me so I can join you and learn how to get that working again. The RSS feeds block, the LevelUp block, and games, Moodle games only. That's what we're talking about today. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about is your just course layout. Cheyenne helped you to rearrange things and package things differently. My concern this morning is the zero topic. The zero topic is at the very, very top of your course every time you access things back onto the main menu. Okay, so this is what mine looked like a few days ago. It takes up basically the whole screen. I have to find any real content, I have to scroll down the screen, right? I'm sure some of you have had that experience. Some of you haven't because you're already organized, but it happens when you start making things quickly for your class. So for your students as well, this is the student view. If I had that same situation and my students were working with me, they might get lost by just looking at this. Very, very messy. And if the students have this on a, if the students have this on a device, it's even worse because it takes up all sorts of real estate. So what you have to do in your mind as a teacher, as an administrator, instructor, you have to define what you want the zero topic to be for that specific course. Is it administrative? Is it just for special activities? Are there only certain important resources you would put up there? I'm not sure. Now, can anybody just drop into the chat here or raise their voice and tell me what they think their zero topic should be? Don't be shy.
I would guess some kind of admin information and quick contacts for the school, the site, the teacher, and maybe what the course is all about. First description.
Right, Natalia, thank you very much. That's the administrator. That's the administration the main things that they need, especially in the first few weeks. And I see Paul Carter put in here something interesting, things that they need to do that week maybe, or that day. So an announcement, like a vibrant announcement up there. That's a pretty good one. A visual, Michelle says a visual to draw their attention, maybe get them excited. For Vesna, it's communication of course, and that sort of overlaps with Natalia's. Big blue button, of course, that's probably the main portal for learning for some courses, so that's, you put it right up there. Yeah, important resources that students need to access all the time, like super important ones, like big blue button. Expectations, yeah. Okay, those are great ideas. Thank you. So you've defined your purpose, but then what we have to do as instructor developers here, teacher developers, we have to look at just look at this whole concept of the zero topic and think, wow, every time my student jumps to another topic down below, they still have this big, huge thing up there that, unless it's about 4 or 5 elements, it really is taking up a lot of real estate, screen real estate. So what we want to do is we want to think, let's keep it small, keep it small, keep it small. And how can we do that? How can we get rid of this monstrosity, this gigantic zero topic? How can we make it smaller so when the students go to their regular subject topic, they can actually see it right away? So here's a few suggestions. The first thing is, make another topic. And you remember how to make a topic from Cheyenne's session last week, right? You go all the way down to the bottom right-hand side of the topics and you click on add topic. And that's in the help files. So you make an archive topic. And what happens with the archives is a lot of the stuff that you see and use in the first few weeks, you probably will never use again for the rest of the course, or your students, or some of the notes like these ones here, instructor note, why can't my learners see my course? That's great, but if it's up there taking space, you can take it away. Not for the students, these ones are not for the students, these are for you, because you also have to be in here all of the time. So if they're redundant and you maybe want to bring them back to life next term in the first few weeks, you put them down in this archives topic at the bottom of the course, you can hide it from the students, and that clears up some space. Like we're sort of decluttering. Okay, the second thing is, oh, sorry. This arrow shows where the add topics is at the very bottom of the course to make a new topic. Okay, move file content to HTML blocks. Okay, so essentially what you do, a lot of teachers do, is they'll put some neat little files in there that will help the students out. But if you add them, like here, it says technical FAQs for the course, technical FAQs for school email, technical FAQs for school portal access, or it could be a Word document about the teacher. Instead of having it in the zero topic and taking that sort of big elevator space up, maybe you can make a simple HTML block and then copy the URLs of the documents and then put them into an HTML block. The HTML block how-to is in the handout. But essentially what you do is you're not going to drag the actual files in there. You're going to open the files, copy the URL, and then put that URL link in the HTML block. And it clicks right directly too. So now you can take those 3 items that are there and you can put them in your archive below. Okay, the students still have access to the information, but it's not in your zero topic. Okay, now those are files, right, that you've made, like PDFs and Word documents. But there's Moodle content also. So Moodle content are things like the big blue button. There's something exciting coming up in a week or so. It's called the appointment feature. It's really neat. The students can actually book appointments with you, or you can actually schedule your classes so the students know exactly when and where your classes are. Where, of course, they're in your living room. but these are Moodle features. You can actually do the same thing. You can click on them, get the URL from way up there, and then open up an HTML block and then paste the URL as a link. And you can take those very important items and then shift them off to the side into a block. Okay, so here's something that's really obvious and you're probably just gonna roll your eyes. This one is reorganizing your content. So essentially, if you look at what's going on here with your courses, you can reorganize your content just with basic logic. So in this one here, this page called COVID video, what do you know? This was actually placed by me up in my zero topic. It was just there for convenience for that day. And then I just sort of left it and forgot about it. But now when I'm going in cleanup mode, I just take that and actually move it down into the COVID unit. So now it's out of the zero topic and it's there. So that's really basic. Okay. So another thing that you should be aware of in your courses, and it's more common than you would think. Up top here is this is the zero topic up here. And you'll see I have keywords COVID. And I have the glossary for the COVID unit up here. For some reason, I put it there in the first week. But all I have to do now is remove that because I already have that in the COVID unit. I wasn't even aware of it until I started looking at cleaning up. So it's just basically just cleaning up what's going on. So I removed this one because it was already here. Okay, now here's another one that's it's kind of a little bit foreign, but if you're a desire to learn or a Brightspace user, you probably are very familiar with this. Instead of having a lot of documents, like in this one here, it says student success. So there's some certain documents that help the students enter the course and achieve success with the course, hopefully. And there are the administrative things that we talked about just recently. You can, in the zero topic, you can put them in, you can make a folder and then pop those documents in and then just have the folder display so the students, when they want to look for administration or student success, or you do, all you have to do is click on the folder. And better yet, use subfolders. So for example, in my student success folder, here's the folder, but then I have life balance, managing your time, turn taking in your class. That's in the main folder. But in my subfolder, I have first week activities, calculating your grades, course presentation. Oh, that's not a good one. Or school virtual orienteering activity. Now, these might not be folders might not be the best way to have students access things, but with really explicit instructions, you can get them there. But possibly, I would say that maybe documents that you as the instructor want to pull up from time to time, you can put them in folders, put them in the zero topic. They don't take a lot of room and you can have quick access to them. Okay, so you can have folders and subfolders and subfolders and subfolders. Okay, so another way to lessen the load on the zero topic is to make a review topic. So once again, you would go to the bottom of the page, click on add topic, make a review topic and position it somewhere. So I'm not sure if we have midterms or finals or unit sort of summaries, but if you did, you could take things like the big glossaries. So for keywords for the LINC 3, the whole of LINC 3, you could put them in the review topic. So everything is grouped as a review. Instead of just having the glossaries up there in the zero topic, just sort of sitting there. Maybe the students use them, maybe they don't. But I think that's the glossaries are better served within the topics themselves. Okay, another thing that I've seen when I've been looking at some of the courses for teachers is they don't have a name for the zero topic, or the name is general. So we are not in the Army here. you can change the name, customize the name of your zero topic. So this one I just called administration. I called my zero topic administration. I don't know, you can call it whatever you would like. And in the end, after I cleaned up my course a few days ago, this is what it looked like. So in this, the administration is my zero topic. And I have a student success folder, the administration folder, my class discussion. I didn't put the announcement. I didn't leave the announcements in there because the students really don't even read the announcements. They see them on the latest announcements block on the side of the course. Also, here's my HTML folder called the online class links, and my teacher meetings. So these are the things that I thought were very important to have there. So if you look at this, maybe this is not realistic for your situation. However, you can clean it up to a degree so it does look clean. Yeah, the administration is not a label. Administration is just the title of the zero topic. Okay, so number 2. So that was zero topic. So number 2, we're going to talk about an introductory video or audio. Geez, we don't have it. Can you put your hand up if you have an introductory video or audio in your class at this time for your course? Does anybody have an introductory audio or video? 1. Not too many of us right now. But okay, let's rephrase it. How about if next term, now that you've gone through a term of this in Avenue, possibly would you consider adding an introductory video or audio for your new students next term? Could you raise your hands? Okay, there's more. Okay, thank you. I think it's something you should possibly consider. There's a kind of a neat way to do this with Moodle or with Avenue. Introductory videos or audios, they start a relationship with your learners, especially to make you, especially to let them know immediately that you're there for them, you're friendly, you're going to be helpful, and a little bit about your philosophy. Also, you can say a few things about behavior and participation, expected requirements such as big blue button classes. You could possibly set virtual class hours. I'm not sure how that works with your center. And then you can just leave a little thing saying that if you're having a hard time with logging in or bandwidth, go to tech support somewhere. And also you want to conclude that you want everybody to be successful. So essentially, there's a bunch of ways you can do this in Avenue. And the best way I found in terms of this kind of like conserving the menu space is using the page feature. So in the page feature, as with many of the features, the text editor, you have these amazing multimedia tools here that are just sitting there waiting for you. The first one is a video or audio URL link from some other source. You can record audio directly as you're sitting at your computer, and that will be put in the page. You can record a video of yourself talking, and that would go right in the page. You can draw a picture. You can draw an illustration picture. You can take a photograph of yourself to put it in the page. You can add a YouTube video link really quickly, and that the YouTube video would appear inside of your page. And you know that the page is like a web page. So you wrap it up with your own little title and your own little instructions, and then the media would be here. You could also add an H5P with interactivity in your page. Okay, no marks will be recorded. However, they will have that interactive experience. So I'm suggesting that you record videos with a page, within a page. Excuse me. So when you record the video, I suggest you use this icon here, the record a video icon, and they keep on changing this icon, but it looks more like, say, 1945 or something like that, a big camera. But you select record a video, and then it becomes high tech again. So what happens is you get this nice little widget and you're sitting there. Of course, you've shaved, you've combed your hair, you've got your best shirt on, and then you click on the first button. And that is the record video. So you record the video. When you're done, you have to play it again to make sure it works. It's fine. And then click on number 3, which is upload. Everything's good. And then click on insert. And now this video will be embedded in your page, which is on your course. And the students on the main menu will just see this, welcome to this course. You could say, watch this video, whatever you want to do. And also in terms of like reducing space on your main menu, this is very, very efficient. We'll talk about the label thing in a second. Okay, so there are other ways to do it, but I suggest using a page and using this beautiful widget. Cheyenne, I'm not suggesting that you hide or delete the announcement form. I just suggest that you put it lower in another topic at the bottom so it doesn't take that space at the top. You're only going to be typing in there. The students won't be doing it. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Cheyenne. You just said that. I'm not a bad reader as I'm going back and forth. Okay. So number 3, this is something a little bit different for Learn IT to Teach, but I was a big fan of this when I was teaching face-to-face in my last position. So what I'd like to invite you to do right now is get one of these things. Do you have one of these? I got one. It's amazing. It's an iPhone 5. Anyway, so on your iPhone, possibly you might have a QR code reader, a QR reader. But if you do, you can click on it, point at this City Hall tour QR code, and maybe you can see this. Can you see this? This is my tour of Toronto City Hall. Well, the sky of Toronto City Hall there. I can't really control this here very well, but anyway, so QR codes are a fast way to link out to different resources online. So for example, for this one here, if you tried that out or use this one, what happens is it directly links my students to some sort of, I use it for rich media. Could be a YouTube video or whatever. And normally what I do is I only use this if I have something that's really stark and it's going to be beautiful, but it can't really be displayed on my web page directly. You can have a hyperlink too, but this just adds a bit of a little bit of flavor. And now then this also brings up what students have phones and what students don't have phones or tablets. So that might cause a bit of duress in your class. So I'm just suggesting this as an idea. So QR codes link out based on a click of an app. Those apps are pretty well always free. Essentially what you have to do as a teacher, you have to generate the QR image, which is really, 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 really simple. The 5 steps that you need to do are on the handout that I sent out, the list of handouts that I sent out in the email just recently. I think Paul will pop that up. Then you go to something like the qrcodegenerator.com, click on it, and here, look at the richness of what you can actually do with a QR code. So you can actually link to all sorts of things, but normally I just link to a URL, which goes somewhere that I want it to go to, like that virtual tour of Toronto City Hall. And once you've done that, you just put the QR code, into an HTML block on Moodle, and they just click away and they go there. So they should have a device with a QR code reader, and they just point at the QR code and then they get the experience. So that's something that some of us might be able to do, some of us might not be able to do, but it adds some variety. Okay. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about here is enhancing labels. Now, you could actually do a whole workshop on enhancing labels. Okay, if you look at the left side of the screen, you can link a video, you can link an audio, you can record an audio, you can record a video, you can embed or link to a YouTube video. You can take a photograph of what's in front of you or behind you. You can draw a kind of a funky picture, or you can have all of the H5P 35 plus objects. So you can actually put that in a label. And so I was discussing this with some of the teachers, and then this reality popped up, is that the media on your main page will take up a huge amount of real estate. So if you're going to enhance with a, beyond like some sort of visual sections separator or some sort of message that's pertinent, you might not want to keep your rich media up there all of the time. You might want to just use it and then hide it or delete it after a week. Okay, so sorry, Cheyenne, I'm not saying that we're going to delete your previous webinar video. I just use that as an example. So it's media rich, it's got instant attention, it's ephemeral, and it does have real estate concerns. So you might want to use labels for the wow factor and then delete them or hide them. But I wouldn't be using too many of these because it does take a lot of your main menu space. Okay, so the next one is the random glossary block. Okay, everybody knows that the glossaries right now, or up until about a week ago, are kind of slow in Avenue in comparison to what we're used to. So the glossaries are working for me a bit better now, but I could not get this to work on my Avenue this morning. Can anybody type in the chat if they can get the random glossary block working at this point on Avenue? Okay. Okay. Thanks, Michelle. So yeah, Nazanin, you have it working now? I think it's a bit spotty, and I know that they're working on it. It's a recognized issue. So we're just going to move forward with that, and hopefully it will be working soon. Because when I was teaching in different spaces with Moodle before this September, I use it for different kinds of things, like student of the day, which I used for sort of like a motivational thing. That's when we were in the class. They would go and that student would do all sorts of jobs around the school. I just use that as a random rotation tool for all sorts of media. We use at the bottom of the block, you can actually, the students can click on the students add your word here. So they can click on there and they can contribute to the glossary itself. So that's a really nice activity. And I know that I've talked to a few of you on the help desk and just in casual conversation. This is something that we would really like to get up and going, but it's not that hard to make. It's just that right now it's not cooperating. Anyway, just keep your eyes open. There will be an announcement soon about it's been rectified. It's a Moodle issue. Okay, so something similar, it's called RSS feeds. RSS is really simple syndication, and there are other folks that call it other things, but we'll just call it really simple syndication. It goes into a block. You can have current information from different spaces like news reports, weather reports, employment or job ads, blogs or podcasts. It's up to you to find these things online. You just type in RSS weather in New Brunswick or something like that. And then you copy the RSS URL code or the web address, the address, and paste it in. And so what it does is it puts a space on it puts a block on your course that has relevant information that is current as they post it. So you can see here, I have some activities from the British Council, the Job Bank of Ontario, top stories from CBC, the weather in Niagara Falls, Canada. Okay, and these are all of these little, there are hyperlinks there, so you can click on it and go straight through to the actual bigger picture or the more information about what's going on there. Okay, so that's the RSS feed. I got to tell you, there's one little trick to it. When you when you go in and paste in your RSS feed and add it, you have to actually leave the RSS feed widget, go back into your course, then go back in again, and then out of the list of your RSS feeds, the different ones, you have to select it and say okay or save. So it's got like a kind of a weird two-step kind of thing going on, but it's in the instructions in the block that Paul seems to be lovely and efficiently pasting. Okay, so the next thing is the LevelUp block. Can you just raise your hands, thumbs up, clap on your Zoom if you could tell me if you've used the LevelUp block? Has anybody tried it? Oh, nice. Sadia? Okay, so that's good. The thing is, it is a feature that's kind of like a little bit of like icing on the cake. The LevelUp block is something nice. And, oh, thanks, Michelle. You've used it too. It's supposed to be a gamification feature of Moodle. It does motivate sometimes. I've actually seen students, when I used it in blended mode in class, I've seen them, they're right into it, but I'm not sure about online. Maybe they'll see it as a distraction, but I don't know. So essentially it's a block. You set it up, you match to badges here. Let's see the badges down here. And those, you can actually make your own badges. Well, you'd probably get someone on your team or someone like Paul, maybe, to make a badge setup and you can adopt it. But essentially what you do is, you just put it on the course as a block, and every time the student logs in, the system is looking to see what they're actually doing. So if they're creating something, they get 45 points. If they're reading something, they get 9 points. If they're updating something, they get 3 points. If they're deleting something, they get 0 points. So for example, for a forum, if they create a new forum post, they get 45 points. If they read a forum thread, they get 9 points. If they update their forum post, they get 3 points. And if they just are not doing anything or removing themselves or removing a forum post, they get 0. So essentially what it does, that's just for forums. The quizzes, everything else is quite similar. So the more activity they're putting into the course, their badges increase. Okay. So you can customize these points if you wish. Like if you feel that if they do an assignment, it should be 100 points. If they create an assignment, you can actually go in and add that as a new rule. There is a leaderboard as well. You can hide this from the students or you can show it. You can make them anonymous and they can actually follow the class. That's something that's how you want to manage that. Yeah, so that's the LevelUp block. It's there's 3 help files, but there's one main help file. I think Paul will be posting that up soon, and we can go from there on to Moodle Games. Now, Moodle Games are sort of baked into Moodle itself. There are more available than this. I'm not sure how many we have in Avenue working yet, but these are the 4 I saw today. So you can build a crossword, a Cryptex, a Millionaire, and a snow person game. Now, the very cool thing about this is not the fact that they're games that the students can play, but they can be linked, and you're supposed to link these to the unit glossary that you're in, a quiz with short answers, or a question pool or question bank. Okay, it's kind of tricky, but that's the general idea. So what you're studying gets meshed in or married to the game. So when you have the game at the end, they're already familiar with the questions and the vocabulary. So it's kind of neat. You know, it's probably not a good idea to make one of these with a quiz that's for grades though, until after the quiz, I guess. So Snow Person is, it's a short answer if you have a glossary items or short answer quiz questions. So you'll see across the top, there's the clue, knowledge or skill that a person develops from doing a job. And it even puts in where it's from, employment link 4. And this, the learners can have 5 tries before the snowman melts. So the students just click on the letters to guess. It's very nice, actually. So you put it in, you link it directly to one of the glossaries or quizzes you've made, or that are already on your course, and it builds this for the students to learn. And of course, it's randomized, so it's never the same word. It's good that way as well. Same idea with the crossword. You can build, not you, the system builds a crossword puzzle for you based on the glossary or short answer quiz questions. And it appears like this. The students type their answers in either here or here, and they do a crossword. The Millionaire game is, oh my goodness, I could never play this game because you see the 50-50, the phone call and ask a few friends there. If you miss one question, you're out. That game is very, very vicious. It's very, very unforgiving. So basically, for the Millionaire game, you link it to quiz questions, and then you just, the learner opens it up, and if they're kind of lost, they can do the 50-50 phone call or ask a friend. And I got to tell you, I haven't made it through it yet. I have not been successful. I keep on getting the X. The Cryptex is just like the crossword, except it's a Cryptex. So it's like a big word search. And the students, you can link it to a glossary quiz with short answers or a question pool with short answers. So it's the same idea. Okay, so those are the 8 features that we're hoping to cover today. So I'm going to go through 4 questions from the field first, and then we'll have your questions. Okay, so the first question was, having the calendar and blocks remain stable. I guess it's a frustration. Sometimes it's at the top, other times it's at the bottom. I'd like it to be able to put it somewhere, top, right, and have it stay there. So it's positioning of the blocks. Okay, so the first thing you would do is you would turn editing on. And you want the block to stay still, right? So here's our block, class links. You click on the actions icon. And then in the drop-down menu, click on configure class link, the block, class links block. And then what you want to do is look at the pop-up here, and it says default weight. If you have -10, it will go to the top right of your blocks column. If you have 10, it will always go to the bottom, way down there. So you have to adjust these accordingly. So if there's one if this one's possibly the one that you want to be second, you would set it to -9. Okay. And if there's one that you think should just be floating in the middle, you could put it to 0 and it would just sort of go there. Okay, so essentially if you want to have control of your blocks, click on turn editing on, find your block, actions menu, configure the block, and set the value here. Negative is top, positive is bottom, and then click on save changes. And your block will be positioned more or less exactly where you want. Question from the field number 2. Thanks, Paul. Linking to assignments from the calendar. I've done it in different Moodles, but I don't see how in Avenue. Okay, maybe something wasn't working for you on the day, and this isn't really super intuitive, so let's just walk through it, okay? So there's a couple things we can do here. So first you're gonna turn editing on for linking an assignment to your calendar on your calendar block, I suppose. Okay, in the assignment, it's really, really important. So this assignment's called COVID Strategy. It's all here under the availability section in the due date settings. You must enable that, and this will appear on the calendar, the due date. Okay? So you go into the assignment and you ensure that the due date's enabled, and then you click on Save and Return to Course. Oh, I thought that was going to work. It's funny. Okay. Okay, so we've set the due date in the assignment. And then what happens is on the calendar, in the calendar block on the right-hand side or in the main calendar, you will see the due date appears here. And it's just a little, it's pink, so it's a course event on my course. If you roll over this date, it will give you the details. Friday, December 11th, on this course, you have this assignment. The assignment COVID strategy is due. If I click, that's just a rollover, right? If I click on 11, this pops up. It's a pop-up. COVID strategy is due. Here's the details. And then if you click on Go to Activity, it will actually launch for you as a teacher or for the students for submission. It will launch the assignment activity. Okay. All right. So, so in the assignment module, I set a due date, save and return to course. Here's the calendar block. If I roll over number 11, the December 11th, the details of the assignment are here. If I click on the 11, the day of the event, this pop-up appears. And it shows you more details about the assignment. And from here, there's a little link called Go to Activity. If you click on that, it will actually launch the assignment itself so the student can submit, or you as the teacher can manage it. And not only that, the due date, if you put the due date on an assignment, it pops up in the upcoming events block. So if you click on that, COVID strategy is due, the pop-up appears again, and then you can go to the activity from there. Okay, so there's two ways to go there. Okay, so the question number 3, I want to have a lot of skill building resources and helpful websites, but I don't want them cluttering up the course. So I really want a comprehensive course that's not too cluttered, like we all do, yeah. I found the PBL resources block really cluttered. Okay, so what I can recommend to you is, do you mean cluttered for you or cluttered for your students? That's what I would like to ask. However, I think that what you can do is take some of those things we talked about with the 0 topic, maybe make another topic that's lower, or move things down into a lower topic, and then put the links to whatever you want the students to go to up in an HTML block. And also maybe put things in a folder, links in a folder up there for you or for the students in one of the higher topics. Also, the strategy of hiding content from students is really, really important, that we all use that. I'm not sure if that's totally answered your question, but you can email me again. Question number 4. How do I link glossaries to games and Avenue? Okay, so when you're making a game, it doesn't matter what kind of game, if it's Snowman or Snow Person or Crossword, you set it up, you type a title, and essentially what you do is there's a field here called source of questions. You can say glossary, quiz, or question pool, question bank. You set that one to glossary, say, for example, and then here it says select the glossary. If you click here, there will be an extensive listing of glossaries that are included in your course. You choose that one, and that's how you link it, and that's how you set it up. Okay. So at this point, 12:48, wow. That's the end of my demonstration and answering the questions. Paul, was there anything else that I've missed?
I think the chat's okay, John. This has been fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Those hidden from student labels in Avenue are very, very intrusive. Yeah, I have to wear sunglasses sometimes when they're so bright and vibrant. Yeah, and they do take a lot of the real estate away as a teacher. I agree. Actually, that's something I'm gonna ask the team about. No, sorry, Cheryl. That your course is your course. Feel free to move things around and break a few things, and then tell us about it so we can improve the delivery of everybody's course. Thanks, Milka. You're welcome. Yeah, Vesna, I like that. I liked how the current topic was highlighted on EduLink. That's another one too. I think the idea right now is with Avenue for instead of highlighting the current topic is keep everything else invisible. Thank you, Vesna. Are there any more questions? There are a lot of links to go through, but I just hope that this inspires you to rethink your course. And if you come up with ideas, share them on the teachers forum, please, because we can all benefit from each other.
I have one about grades, and with the topics that are preloaded into Avenue, and you've got the you know, it makes the grades quite busy, and I haven't wanted to remove those, so they may be hidden. So for, let's say, the SCORM activities,
yeah,
create
okay.
a lot, and there are so for each SCORM activity, there might be 7 or 8 that I might have open. And I'm wondering if there's a way I can keep the SCORM activities available, but not have them show in the grades. Is there any way to delink the SCORM activities from grades?
You know,
anyway.
No, actually, give me a second here. That's a fantastic question. You know what? I'm going to look at that, Cheryl.
I have a visually impaired student, and I have to work with his support people. And I realized how much there is in the grades, and I only count the grades of the things that I put in. And yeah. I just thought it would be really nice if we could somehow do that.
That's an excellent. I'm going to post on this on the forum what I find out. That's really important because I find that grade book is just excessive. Goes on forever. It's like the Trans-Siberian Railway. Thank you, Cheryl.
John, may I just jump in for a moment?
Sure, jump.
Just in regards to what Cheryl said about her student who's visually challenged, we had a trainee who also has visual challenges, and Jim and I did some work with them, and that included adding an accessibility block. So Cheryl, you can now go in your course or any page in your course and click on add a block, and that will add the accessibility block. You can see it in stage 1 if you'd like. And that allows them to change the font size and the contrast color. And you can have this really beautiful black and blue one. There's different color schemes depending on the visual challenges that they have. So remember that the accessibility block is there. Very beautiful. Thanks, John. Sweet.
You know,
yeah,
I just tripped across that. That's an amazing feature.
It's so cool. Yeah, no, enjoy.
It's an amazing feature. Mine's gonna be way down here. And here it is. Huh. So for different sort of color contrasts, you can change the look and feel of the screen. That's great. And you can change the size right here. Wow. Amazing. So it's the accessibility block, and it's on every course. It's amazing. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Cheryl. But Cheryl, we're gonna get back to you on the gradebook issue. That's a really good suggestion. Oh, Michelle, no, it's not clean. Not clean at all. It's just It's the blue, makes it look clean. Wow. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much for coming. And I think we can wrap it up there. And I hope everybody has a really relaxing, restful weekend. Paul, do you have anything to add?
Just thank you, John. That was fantastic. I can't wait to watch it again when I'm not typing in the chat at the same time.
All right. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.